Hey Jarnell, how are you? Here's the site of my computer. Remember, this project is actually going to be for my company, so there's no one actually paying me for this, and hopefully is the basis of both of us finding some additional work. So that's going to be my only motivation for how you price this out, because I'm not collecting any money on this immediately. All right, so starting from the top. I really think we can. I hate to use these words, but almost just copy the site. I really like how it is. It is simple. I agree with that, but I think that can be a good thing. So starting from the top, anything in green. So here and here, I want in my blue, and again, my blue would be right here. So I can measure that for you if you'd like and get you the. I think it's called the hex number. Okay, so that'll be blue. I think there's a pretty cool setup how that's black. My little slogan, customized digital marketing, can go here. Maybe it needs to be more centered. I don't know if this offset's going to work. So that works. I think a little bit of shading here, I think is pretty cool. I do not need a login. I actually have nothing for someone to log into. Call us now. I think that's pretty standard. I only have one phone number, but then I think an email address down here would work. Navigation's perfect. I think my navigation would be a little bit different. So I mean, just leave this open for me to add pages in WordPress. But contact us, find us. Those are pretty good, and the blog's pretty good. This sample page is just something for me playing around. So basically, just give me a couple placeholders for navigation. But I certainly know how to use WordPress well enough to add my pages. The slider, I actually already, on my own, not a graphics person, but already made those sliders as you saw here. I'm probably going to have a graphics person take those to the next level, make them a little bit better. But open up the slider. I mean, I even like how this little borders around it. So that's pretty cool. So let's stick with that. So everything inside of here will just be my image. Well, let's go with this kind of setup. I know in the last website you had like the arrow out here, but I like this thing here. I do not like these big giant numbers here, so make sure it matches more of this one. Incidentally, I believe it's 5 sliders that I have. So if you want to just give me those placeholders, I certainly know how to do it. Use that same one that you used for that last job. I am going to do something very similar to this. I'm going to have basically web design here. Probably my search engine results here. I do both pay-per-click and organic stuff, and then lead generation through some email and Facebook stuff. I help people generate leads, so that's going to be kind of my balancing of my three services. I'm going to want to have the same kind of text here ability, but if you just give me the WordPress kind of blank platform, I can take it from here, including font and colors and stuff like that. So I just really need the WordPress here. I do want the sidebar. I don't think the sidebar is big enough. This will be a place for widgets, so I'll probably have social icons. That same contact 7, I think, is what we're using. I think is a great thing to use for forms. I know that well enough that I really need you to do not much of anything, but just give me the placeholder there. I might even have some sort of testimonial feed, like the last site. I know we didn't do it yet, but that was in the future plans. And then the address here is all pretty good. So I think a slider here, but I think you're gonna have to give me a little bit more width. I think if you kind of just match the last website we did with that kind of width, I think that will look good. And by the way, the last website is LAS Law Offices. So I think this site here and that size here is very good. And by the way, I got the sliders loaded in here if you want to see how that came out. Okay, so back to this project. That's really about it. The one thing that I was talking about in the last project is I wanted a second template, but I think we can get away with this. I think just leave one version. We can have a slider show up on each, and then I'll just have each page after that. All right, so since this is kind of live and me doing the first kind of babbling on here, let me just run through this again real quick. My company name here, change any of this green to that blue that I showed you. This shading's cool. Get rid of this. Give me a place so I can put my phone number in there. Don't worry too much about the exact types of navigation here, because I know how to do this. I'm going to feed you the slider and a sidebar here. That's really it. I think, like you mentioned, pretty straightforward project.